Hey guys, it's Dylan Laine, and today I'm going to be doing a Q&A answering your questions you sent me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. For the last week, my voice has been gone, and just today it's about 90% back, but that's only my talking voice. My singing voice is still at about 50%, and because of that, unfortunately, I won't be able to do covers or tutorials this week. By the way, if you're not already following me on Facebook and Instagram, you should definitely go do that because that's where I've been asking people to send me questions. Also, if I don't answer your question, it's because there were a lot of questions. There's a handful that I'm going to answer today, there's a handful that I'm going to answer another day, and then I felt like some of your questions required long answers, so I thought instead of just answering them really short in a video like this, that I would take your question and answer it in an entire video. If I didn't answer your question today, it will most likely get answered at some point. Question number 1 is from Jemima, and she asks, when writing songs, what comes to you first, the lyrics or the melody? This is always a hard question to answer because I feel like for me, I don't have a specific answer. Like it's not always the melody that comes first. It's not always the lyrics that comes first. And in fact, a lot of times it's both at once. I will be sitting at the piano or with the ukulele and I'll be playing and singing. And within the first, let's say 2 minutes of doing that, I'll come across an idea that I really like. I'll play that idea over and over again. So when I'm playing that idea, I'm playing while singing, and they might not be the best lyrics, but it's just something. Through doing that, in the same way that I found a musical idea that I like a lot, I'll also then find a lyric idea I like a lot, and I'll be like, oh, I'm keeping that. I improvise on my instrument, I improvise with my melody, and I improvise with my lyrics all at the same time. And when I find things I like, I grab a hold of it and I keep it, and then I just keep building off of that idea. Marcia asks, when did you first start playing the ukulele and who taught you? I first started playing the ukulele in 2008. Yes, 2008. I'm self-taught, but I will say that I had extensive training in piano my whole life. So before I ever picked up the ukulele, I had played piano for a long time, and I had a lot of teaching in piano, a lot of training in piano. So the things that I had learned from piano lessons and music theory, they were all transferable over to the ukulele. I had also had a lot of ear training through piano. So ear training is basically like where somebody will play a chord on the piano and then I can hear without looking, I can hear what that chord is. Those types of things definitely helped me in picking up a ukulele and being able to play it rather quickly. But to elaborate more on being self-taught with the ukulele, I did watch videos online, or I would Google certain chords, you know, how to play C chord, G chord, F chord. I also would look up strumming patterns and learn how to do those strumming patterns as well. And what was cool is before I picked up ukulele, I had also taught myself guitar. So a lot of the strumming patterns that I had learned from guitar were completely transferable over to ukulele, verbatim. Lillian asks, how did you start your ministry and how did you know what your ministry was? I think by ministry, she's referring to the videos that I put on YouTube teaching you guys to play ukulele worship songs, and the covers I put on YouTube playing ukulele worship songs. Also the songwriting videos that I put up, because some people might not use the songwriting videos to write worship songs, but a lot of people might. And that's what I write songs about as well. How did you start your ministry? Over the last few years, I really got into playing ukulele more, and over the last few years I had been posting YouTube videos, but about a year ago I noticed that my most viewed videos were the Christian worship songs. The more that I noticed that, I thought, well, maybe there's a need for more of that. To take it a step further, I also looked in some of my YouTube analytics and I saw that people were finding me a lot of the times through searching for Christian ukulele tutorials. At the time, I actually didn't have any tutorials up. I only had cover songs up of Christian ukulele songs. In January of this year, 2017, I thought, okay, well, I'm just gonna make a ukulele Christian worship song and put it online and see what happens, you know, see if people respond well, see if it does well. And I did that, and it actually worked really well. I had a great response. I saw a lot of people searching for it, and in fact to this day I think my most viewed ukulele video is, I think, either 10,000 Reasons or Oceans. That was really encouraging, really inspiring, and it motivated me to then just hammer those out. So from that point on, and still to this day, I have been making a ton of just ukulele Christian worship song covers as well as tutorials. So yeah, I guess the short answer to that is, how did I start my ministry? How did I know what it was? I started my ministry because I saw a need for something, and I saw a need for something specifically within my skill set that also seemed glorifying to God. So I saw that need and I wanted to fulfill it. In terms of knowing what my ministry was, it's not that I knew that my ministry was to post ukulele worship songs. I think I've always known that my ministry is to use my gift of music and songwriting to glorify God and to share about God's love with other people. Knowing that the foundation of my ministry is music and glorifying God gives me the freedom to use a handful of outlets to showcase that ministry, if that makes sense. So if my ministry is to use music and to glorify God and to show others about God's love, I can do that through teaching music. I can do that through performing music. I can do that through teaching others to write worship music. Yeah, I've always, probably since the age of 13 or so, knew that that was my ministry. It's just that I've developed it in different ways throughout my life. I probably always will throughout my life, try different things with that, whether it's performing or teaching or doing workshops or doing these videos. Brenna asks, what age were you when you learned about God, and when did you start doing worship? What age I learned about God is an interesting question, because I think I typically get asked, what age did I give my life to God? When did I learn about God? I don't know. I probably learned about God when I was very little, so little that I don't remember. But I think one of my most significant first memories of learning about God was when I was 13 and I went to a youth camp. I remember every night there was worship, and we would go and we would all worship together, and there would be a sermon. And yeah, I just remember, in fact, that was when I got saved, actually. I did an altar call. I went up during an altar call on one of those nights. So technically that was the night I got saved. So probably wasn't the first night that I'd heard about God, but I think it was maybe one of the most significant nights, because I felt so touched by hearing about God that I got saved that night. Oh yeah, there's a second part to that question. When did you start doing worship? Maybe I would say around 13, because I started writing songs around the age of 13, and I really wrote mostly worship songs. Yeah, I guess I would say around 13 is when I started worshiping, that I can remember, because I was writing songs. I think I joined worship team at some point and was on worship team, and then I think we switched churches and I joined the worship team there. Marijo asks, are you on a worship team? Sorry if I said your name wrong. I'm not currently full-time on a worship team. I sometimes will volunteer during the holiday seasons or when there's a need, but as of right now, I'm not full-time on a worship team. Monica asks, is music your only talent, or do you have another talent like dancing or something? I'm not talented at dancing, but I guess my other talents would be, I don't know. My husband thinks I'm a good cook, so I guess I could say cooking. I would say poetry, because I can think of poems really fast on the spot. And in fact, I have a business where I go to weddings with a typewriter and I will type poems for the wedding guests for their party favor or their wedding favor. Yeah, I guess making poems really fast is a talent. Josu, not sure how you say that, asks, do you ever feel like playing an instrument besides the ukulele? Yes, and I do quite often. I play the piano and the guitar and ukulele and sing, and I switch between those pretty often. I think that you guys see me play just the ukulele almost all the time, and like I said, that's just because I saw that there was such a need for that and learning the ukulele, specifically with worship music. And I think that the ukulele is such an approachable instrument if you've never played an instrument. It's a little bit easier on your fingers. It's light, it's portable, it's small, it's great. When I'm not making videos, I love playing the piano. I love the piano. I think it's so beautiful. It's so diverse. There's so much you can do with it. And I'm most trained in the piano. Gail asks, what was the first instrument you ever learned and how many do you now play? The first instrument I learned was piano, and I learned the piano 20 years ago, something like that. How many do you play? Piano, guitar, ukulele. Does voice count as playing? Marshall asks, why do you want to upload ukulele tutorials? Well, I guess I already kind of answered this, but I want to upload ukulele tutorials because I feel like it's a way that I can use my musical skill and my love for the Lord and my love for people, and I can combine all of those things by teaching you guys how to use your skill to worship the Lord and also just to have fun. Joella asks, what is your favorite Bible verse? I know what it is, but I always forget where it's from, so I'm gonna look it up real quick. My favorite Bible verse is Psalm 46:10, be still and know that I am God. I think it is so peace-giving and just relaxing. It helps me to stop stressing, or stop fearing, stop anything negative in my mind, and just to relax, to trust, and to be still like it says. All right, and that is all the questions for today. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you feel like you know me better. If you have any questions you want me to answer in one of my future videos, please ask them down below. And like I said, if you're not already following me on Instagram or Facebook, you should definitely go do that. I'll post links in the description box. Have a great day, and until next time, goodbye. Like I said, I don't really have a singing voice right now.